We are living in an economy where the cost of living is skyrocketing. For millions of people, just scraping together enough cash to cover rent and a standard house deposit feels mathematically impossible. Right on cue, the internet is flooded with self-proclaimed gurus selling a financial fairy tale. They promise that if you just buy their course, you can build effortless passive income and retire to a beach by age 25. On the flip side, we're told by traditional financial advisors to play it safe. Get a standard job, hoard pennies in a basic savings account, and wait 40 years. But in an era of rapid inflation, keeping your money parked in a bank is a guaranteed way to lose your purchasing power every single day. It's time to stop listening to the noise. We've gathered insights from unapologetic, self-made billionaires and cutthroat executives, people like Kevin O'Leary, who have actually built wealth from the ground up and are here to destroy these comfortable lies. Surviving today's market means dropping the illusions. If you want to build lasting capital, you have to embrace the unfiltered, brutal reality of how economic value is actually created. You can skip the daily coffee and cancel your streaming subscriptions, but there is a rigid mathematical floor to frugality. If your baseline salary is simply too low, you cannot budget your way to freedom. You have an income problem, not an expense problem. The harsh truth, as Tony Robbins points out, is that the free market does not care about your basic needs. We might be equal as humans, but we are absolutely not equal in the marketplace. You are compensated strictly based on the unique value you provide. If you work a minimum wage job where the required tasks can be learned in an afternoon, you are entirely replaceable, and your paycheck will reflect that reality. To multiply your earning potential, you have to invest the time to acquire skills that the market actually finds scarce. But scaling your income is only half the battle. As Kevin O'Leary warns, making more money does not give you permission to waste it. Blowing your new capital on a massive mortgage or $28 lunches is exactly how high earners trap themselves in high-end poverty. Morgan Housel frames the math of wealth as a simple subtraction: what you have minus what you want. You increase your net worth the moment you lower your ego, especially since nobody cares about your Range Rover as much as you do. You're just spending money to impress strangers who aren't even paying attention. Real wealth requires fighting a two-front war. You must ruthlessly hunt down ways to increase your active cash flow, while aggressively protecting every dollar from your own vanity. Yet a growing movement wants top-tier financial rewards without paying the entry fee. Millions of professionals want to reach the absolute peak of their industries, but fiercely demand a stress-free 40-hour schedule to get there. Executive Emma Creed is blunt about this. Managing your personal schedule, picking up your kids, and taking your weekends is entirely your puzzle to solve. It is not your employer's responsibility to engineer your peace of mind. If you want a standard, comfortable life, average effort is perfectly fine. But achieving extraordinary top 1% success mandates working late into the evenings, pushing through the weekends, and outworking your competition. For an organization to even offer its employees the luxury of work-life balance, it first has to survive. The business must be highly profitable and brutally competitive just to afford the overhead that makes flexible schedules possible. Expecting outsized financial returns from a carefully guarded part-time commitment is an entitled fantasy. The market rewards obsession, and it punishes entitlement. This doesn't mean you have to become the next Elon Musk. We've built up this paralyzing idea that true entrepreneurship means launching a rocket company or building a massive tech empire. Massive companies carry massive liabilities. As headcounts grow, management becomes a full-time job of managing chaos, leaving these giants vulnerable to being disrupted by smaller, faster competitors. The alternative is a lifestyle business, a small elite team generating millions by solving high-friction problems in service industries like plumbing, HVAC, or law. This chart tracks a traditional service business. Adding AI automations like CRM integrations replaces heavy administrative costs with software that never sleeps, scaling without headcount. The third column represents your personal brand. This visibility acts as a protective moat, bringing pre-vetted opportunities directly to you. Look at Kevin Hart's strategy. He didn't stay a highly paid, replaceable employee in the entertainment machine. He leveraged his visibility to demand equity in the brands he works with, embedding himself into the ownership structure of the business itself. Success in 2025 belongs to those who dominate a small, hyper-efficient niche. You find an offering gap, solve it with high-value skills, and retain 100% of the equity. You cannot control global tariffs, AI disruption, or the Federal Reserve, but you have absolute control over your personal economy, the specific skills you learn, how much you earn, and how much you keep. If you sit around waiting for the perfect economic system, a drop in interest rates, or a savior employer to hand you a massive raise, you guarantee yourself a lifetime of financial anxiety. These diamond-encrusted Rolexes are essentially status signaling traps, assets that trade your hard-earned capital for the fleeting attention of strangers. True financial independence buys you pure, unadulterated time. It's the ability to stand perfectly still while the world blurs around you, knowing you can drop your kids at school and weather any recession without losing a minute of sleep. So drop the entitlement. Stop waiting for the effortless shortcut. Master a high-value skill and take